I feel like over the lifetime of CBA, I have got a certain name for myself in terms of you're the salesperson. In fact, it's become a little bit of an in-house joke with our clients that Joe's the closer. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. However, you are shit hot at sales. Like, you are really awesome at it. And you still feel like you're not the best. And when you first started switching to this sales process, like in your dog training business, there was a lot of mindset stuff around this, because there was that follow-up bit where I think I'm fair to say that there was a lot of resistance in going, well, no, because, all the stuff that we're saying we're hearing now, like, no, if they're not getting back to me, then that's it. They don't want it. They clearly don't want it. They've basically said it, even though they haven't. So what would you say I don't feel like I can ask this in one succinct question, but essentially, like, what's your learnings? What mindset stuff did you work through? What epiphanies have you had?
I was thinking of me and how I might receive that information. And I was impressing those opinions that I'd heard about money from my parents, from people around me. And I was thinking, I believed in what I was selling. So going back to the dog training days, in the latter part of it, when I'd got, my services right and priced accordingly to what they should be, I believed in them. But there was still that feeling of like, nobody else around me is selling anything that high ticket.
You were going to say expensive then.
I was, and I stopped myself. But in that mindset of,
but
like,
at that time, yeah,
like they're charging a lot less than me. Mm-hmm. And it was that still thing about, here's the price. Oh my God, am I actually presenting this to you? I'm waiting for that's what I'd be waiting for when someone sees it. And I think that was part of it. I wasn't putting myself in the position of the owner, of the human. I wasn't thinking about probably outcome stuff enough. And I will say that when I'd got better at it, because I had to, because you can't sell something that costs $997 to somebody that you don't believe is going to give them the outcome. Like, that's just fraud. That's just like, it's not something that anybody should do. It's lack of integrity. But I believed in it. But I was just like, it's still like a lot to expect somebody to envision and see that they can possibly have a dog that's very different at the end of it. And it wasn't until we formed CBA and we were selling our services in CBA that I actually started to fully understand that, because that thing where people say, can I have a one-off taster session? So you've got a program or a package and someone says, can we just do like a one-off session? And you're very tempted a lot of the time just to go, oh, okay, like I'll do that because I might lose this sale otherwise. And I think that I never did it in the dog training when I created the program, but there's that, oh God, I have to stay really strong with it to actually stop myself. In CBA, I was like, absolutely not. Like, there is no way I would do that, because I 100%, 1000% know that someone's not going to get out of it what they expect to, or they're probably never going to come back if they have a one-off session. It's not going to do the job. And so, like, I was like, I get that now. I 1000% get that now. And it was then that I started to fully kind of put myself in the position of the person at the other end and go, like, for us to truly change your journey and your path and your mindset, it needs to be this length of time, and it needs to be us alongside you. And we've got to be not at you, but, we've got to be there and catching you when you try and fall and all that sort of stuff. So I think if I'd stayed in that dog training business for longer, I'd have wanted to work on that more, because I think I could have completely, like, again, 10x that business if I'd been able to have that mindset back then. And actually, I think I did a decent, okay job of doing it, because I consistently brought people in.
Oh, yeah.
But can you imagine, like, what if I knew now, then what I know now? And I don't even feel like I know. I feel like I need more support with it now. So, yeah, I don't think it's a journey that ever ends.
No.
Getting that follow-up sales process right and fully putting yourself in the position of that owner, not even putting yourself in the position, because it's not about you. It's about understanding where they are, what they need, what they don't need, and almost like helping them see without persuasion, without telling them that they need the thing that you've got, by asking the right questions.
Yeah.
And that just is such a skill.
Yeah. It's same with anything though, isn't it? I think sometimes we are really, what's the word? I'm going to say selfish. It's not the word I was thinking of, but we are quite selfish and a bit egotistical to then go, oh, I've learnt this thing. I've got a result. Fucking brilliant at it now. Like, awesome.
Mm.
It's like, no, you've got to keep practicing it. You've got to keep finessing it. You've got to keep having these conversations. You've got to do all this stuff to keep growing and evolving and just practicing it. And I think it's being aware again, something we bang on about all the time. Think about who you are surrounding yourself with, like on a daily basis. It's really difficult to just cherry pick the people you want to be around that are going to motivate you, drive you, give you all of the golden nuggets, because life isn't, it's not that way. You've got, your immediate friends, family, social media, all the stuff that will swamp your brain with the stories and thoughts that you've always thought you believed. Because, we are brought up in a world where, I think you mentioned it earlier, that sales is perceived as icky and people will think things are expensive and people think things are cheap. And the stories we tell ourselves actually become our hard truths when they're not the truth at all. There's no factual evidence behind it. So when we're telling ourselves the story that people think we're expensive and people want puppy classes and people want XYZ, it's like, do they? Does every single person want it?